I'm back tonight with some more crafting. So I really wanted to make fabric pumpkins tonight, but I just didn't get all of the materials together. But I know that that was one of the most requested DIYs that I could show next. And I'm going to try my hardest to get them ready to show tomorrow. I just have a ton of fabric and I need to kind of cut it and break it down and get some of the materials together in order to make those. So the second requested thing was to show fall florals or how to do florals. And so that's what I'm creating tonight. I actually have my tablescape for our larger dining table that I have yet to do anything with. And so I thought it would be fun to kind of show you how I plan to kind of do it. And I want to go simple, but I kind of want to go with that same theme, that like romantic, cozy fall theme. If you follow me on Instagram or watched any of the other tutorials where I showed you how I did all of the florals above my hutch, and it has like the kind of like draping, like, I don't know, it's like a willow grass or like the long leafy green glass. I showed how I just kind of put everything up there in a time-lapse video. So today I'm gonna kind of go through the same thing, except I'm just gonna tell you my process for it because I don't always use expensive florals. I love the expensive florals. They look the best, yes, and I just had a conversation about like using cheap florals versus more expensive florals. But when you're trying to keep it like budget friendly but still on theme, still in season, I find it's best to use a mix or a variety. So that's what I'm gonna do tonight, and I'm gonna show you my process on how I do that to kind of like make the look, okay? And so for my table, it's a long farmhouse table, which you guys, my shirt, okay, I made this yesterday in yesterday's live, so if you didn't catch that, you definitely want to go back and watch it because I'm looking at this shirt actually on the camera and I'm still like in awe and loving these colors of heat transfer vinyl. And this is a design, if you have a Cricut or Silhouette, you can totally get the file, the SVG cut file, and there's a JPEG on there as well where you can load that into your Cricut or your Silhouette machine and make your own shirt just like mine. So definitely check that out. I just put that up on the website. It's out there available for free on CraftyLifeMom.com in the resource library, and it's free to subscribe to that. So yeah, this is my shirt that I made. I might put this in the shop. So for all of you who don't want to make your own and you might want to buy one, I might put this in my crafter t-shirt sections. So anyway, I'm really loving my shirt. So for my table, it is a long like farmhouse table, and it has like I have a bench on one side and then I have two chairs on the other on the ends. And so I just, for Easter, we did real big. I had it plated, even though we didn't technically use it like all fancy decorated like, not with 3 small kids. And then going into summer, I just kind of styled it and decorated it, but we hardly sat there. So this time around for fall, I want to do a simple styling with just some florals. I'm not going to like plate it like you guys, you know how you see those like in the magazines and all the pretty pictures, and people like decorate their formal dining areas for show and tell kind of, right? Well, I want to be able to use mine, so I'm not on the super formal side, but I'm not like on the everyday kitchen nook side. I want to meet somewhere in the middle with the fall tablescape, yet keeping it in theme with what I already did for the hutch. So I'm going to show you that process. So what I did was I did go to Dollar Tree first for the florals. I didn't have any intent for the florals when I first picked them out. I just kind of, you know, found some ones. You guys know that I was looking for different sunflowers. So I did find some sunflowers in the orange. And my entire front room is like the light greens and the oranges kind of touched in. And then I have some of these yellow sunflowers, which, you know, these are great transition flowers from summer to fall. I have 2 of those, and I'm not even sure that I'm going to use them. One is a little bit darker than the other. You can kind of see. One has like the oranger center, and then this one has like the brighter yellow. This is more that summery sunflower, and this is more that fall sunflower. So you see how they like can be the transition flower. Not sure though that I'm going to use these. So you see all that I have right here is the florals that I have left. I don't have any more anywhere else. Now, in addition to this, what I also want to do is kind of have the pumpkins and those succulent like looking pumpkin gourds or flowers. And so that's going to be kind of hard to do, but we'll see how close I can actually get with that. And so, I'm sorry, I have a notification. So I do have these. These are chrysanthemum. I'm not sure I'm saying it right. These are from the dollar store. I have a couple of those. I have marigolds, these white ones. And so I would say these are 3 bundles of flowers, right? So this is $3. These are the filler flowers. These are the flowers that aren't their best. You can definitely find better flowers at Hobby Lobby, and I recommend finding a few there that you absolutely love. And that's kind of like what I did here. This is like one of those, like almost like a wedding bouquet that you can get. You can find these at Hobby Lobby. They're usually like less than $10 for like this pre-made little mix. And when I saw this, I was like, that's what I want for my table. But I don't want it in a bouquet, right? I want it in this longer like centerpiece type of thing. So you can buy a couple of these, which this one was $7, not too bad. And this one, I believe, because I've had a couple of these, I think this actually came from Southern Hospitality. That's a store here that's local to me. So if you want to go there and get this specific one, I believe that's where it came from. But Hobby Lobby has like just the same type of stuff. I saw this one and I was like, that's what I want. So yeah, these little bundles are great because they kind of have the mix and the theme that you want, right? You find them and you're like, oh, I love that, but not that way. This is the best way to get the variety of flowers, the quality of flowers for like less than whatever price when you buy it per stem. Now they are short, they already cut, so if you're making a table arrangement, it's perfect for that. If you're making one of those taller vase like arrangements, you're gonna have to do some tricky things like tie it off to a stick or something that makes it have some height and then hopefully disguise the fact that your stem is cut, which could be done, but still tricky. But anyway, that's just a little thought there for you. Okay, so that's the flowers that I have. That's it. These and these $3 Dollar Tree ones. And I'm gonna try and fill this box that I have, okay? So this box is about 2 feet wide and it's kind of narrow. I have no idea where I got this box from. I think somehow through a craft show or something, it got thrown into my stuff and when I got home, I had it. So it's just a little wooden, like almost like particle board type of wood box. You can definitely find things like this everywhere. You just kind of have to look. You can build your own even. It's a very thin, like it could be like a thin dry wood, like a quarter or a half an inch thickness, okay? So it's very lightweight. I haven't done anything with it, so I thought I want to make a skinny, long, narrow flower arrangement. This box is the thing. Okay, so that's what I'm working with, this thing. And it doesn't even say where it's from, but anyway, so then you gotta have your floral foams, obviously. You gotta have that to get started. So when I was at the Dollar Tree, that's where you can buy these cheap. They have the bricks like this. It's a solid brick. That's gonna be perfect in here for this. And then they only have the one. So I had to get another one, but this is like a 4-in-1 pack. And so I'm just gonna use these around the main brick just to kind of stuff it and give it something. And so I'm sure like your normal floral flower arranger type of people would say, oh, she's totally doing that all wrong. But I'm just showing you what I'm working with, okay? So I'm gonna lay them in there kind of like this. You see that on either side. And then I'm just going to kind of shove in to the right and the left these other ones kind of like down at an angle. And like one is working better than the other, and that's totally fine. We just wanna make sure, and this stuff's dusty, we just wanna make sure that it's kind of like full in there, right? Because we're not gonna see it, and that's fine. Now, to get started, for any flower arrangement, you kind of want to start with either your front runner flowers, the ones that are like your prettiest, probably the most expensive ones you have, the show, like, right, the best ones, the ones you want to be like reaching out, looking at somebody, the ones you want them to really see. Those are the ones you want to start with, and then you want to build around it according to your arrangement. Since this is a long horizontal arrangement, I'm going to like kind of build up and down, kind of like my rainbow here, right? So I'm going to be up here, and I'm going to kind of like trickle it down, okay? Because I want the prettiest stuff to kind of be like floating right here in the middle, and then I'm going to build with my fillers and other things. Then the other things will be like the cutesy things that will kind of hide the fact that I'm using a dollar store flower. So that's the thought process, right? So I'm starting with the bundle that I have. And you know what? It was great like this, but we're not going to use it that way. We're going to cut this off, and we are just going to take these stems and break this whole thing apart. Now look, they put some twine around it, but look how they actually keep it together with a zip tie, okay? Hey Sally, how are you? And we're just gonna cut that little piece like off. And now what I'm left with is just all of my beautiful stems. So you can see here that I actually have like these little green ones, a white pretty flower, this really pretty rose, and that's the only one like that. It's not huge, but it's probably going to be the one we start with. And then I have another white, another green, and then these two beautiful orange ones. So what I like to do is we're gonna start with the prettiest rose here first, right? And I'm gonna just put it down in the center here of my arrangement, and I'm gonna go all the way until it stops, because I don't want this to get too high, right? I want it to kind of stay like as tall as this little flower is, like that's the highest point. So I don't want to go any more than that, okay? So I might I can't talk. I might actually start cutting some of these because this is a long, short arrangement. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm just using some cheap scissors. I do have some cutters that cut florals, like some bolt cutters, but these work okay. You just kind of have to, work it a little bit. You definitely can't cut more than one. You can only cut like one or two with your little regular scissors. And the reason I'm just cutting these off now is so I can start to work with it to see. Work with it to see. So I have a question for you guys. I was talking with someone who loved the way that I did the floral arrangement the other day. And she thought it would be a good idea to sell like a flower arrangement kit, where I gather up all the different florals, definitely high-end ones to low-end ones, and build a flower arrangement crafting kit that has some extra ribbons and things like that in it, so that you could get it and create your own or very similar. If that's something you're interested in, can you leave a message or a comment down below, or just send me a direct message if you don't want to put a comment, and just let me know, because I'm not really sure what the interest would be with a floral making craft kit. But if it's something you guys are looking for, then I totally am game to hunt down all the cute flowers, because I really do like shopping for them. Okay, so back to this one. We put the center flower in, and now I'm picking up two of my less expensive ones, and these are like different heights, and that's totally fine. And all I'm gonna do is just kind of shoot them in here in the middle section, and I'm just going to kind of put them in at an angle like that. So I kind of have, that archy thing kind of forming here. Now what I'm gonna do is go back with one of each of my other florals. And you guys, a rule of thumb, you see how this is kind of moving around? I plan to use this box again. So I might switch these flowers out and do something for spring or even Christmas, I don't know. So I'm not going to glue down my, my foam. I'm going to leave it there. But if you know you're not going to use the box again or the container again, then definitely hot glue these things down because they totally help with keeping it even more secure. All right, and these flowers are kind of a little bendy, so let me cut that to the wire. And I'm gonna put this one in at an angle, kind of leaning out like towards you, like this. So now on this side of the floral arrangement, and it's going lower than the main one, right? We have one kind of like that, okay? And I'm gonna do the same thing for the other side, except I'm going to make it come towards me. And I will show you here exactly what I'm talking about. I'm going to angle it. I'm gonna put it in the front, right? So I'm like in the front, but I'm gonna angle it back to me. So the whole point is that I'm keeping it symmetrical kind of as I build, and I'm fluffing a little bit too. Okay, so when I turn this around, you guys almost see the exact same thing, right? And that's because no matter where you're sitting around the table, the arrangement will look the same. So I've got my three front runner, like higher end flowers here in the middle, and they're working their way out. That's exactly how we want it. Okay, so now I'm gonna go in with the white flowers and do the exact same process. Again, I'm using all of the more expensive ones first and building out with it, okay? So there's that one, and it's kind of resting now a little lower on that front part of the box, okay? Same thing with this one. Make sure I have my little wire. I'm cutting these because the wire is a little shorter than the actual stem, so it just makes it a little stiffer to place in there. Okay, so I'm just gonna bend that one a little bit to kind of fill. Okay, so this doesn't look too bad, right? But you can kind of still see in there, and you can see all the green foam bricks, you know, and you can see everything happening there, but you know, we're gonna cover that, so don't worry. Okay, so now I have like these random like leafy things. I don't know what these came from, just something, you know, I kind of just using what I have, and I'm just gonna stick them in there to kind of like, you know, cover the ugly that you can kind of see, okay? So I'm doing this one here, and you kind of have to, the thing with flowers is you kind of push them in, and then you bend them and you shape them and you kind of arrange them to hover and hide. And so we're gonna do the same thing right here between this white and orange one. I'm just gonna stick it in there, this brown leaf, and then I'm gonna drape it down and over, kind of like that. And it helps to like turn it around as you go, okay? Just like that, okay. And then, you know, you kind of need to fix your other guys as you move around all of it, okay? So I think, let me go ahead and smash that there. There we go. All right, so now I've got like my center deal happening. This one needs to kind of go in a little more. Let me get that. And I'm starting to build out, but it's not completely full yet. And this is where we begin with the Dollar Tree ones. So I still have some of these, right? Now I'm gonna move on to using a few of these marigold ones. They're a little smaller, but that's fine. We wanna place them kind of, you know, here and there. So, and sometimes it's not all about how many flowers you use. It's more about the greenery that you use, okay? So all I'm doing here is just, cut that straight, because I cut it curly. It's almost just about, oh wait, that was the same kind. We want the other flower, this one. Okay, so it's kind of about the placement and not about how many flowers you have. It's also about placement and greenery. That's what I was gonna say. So make sure you just Get the few flowers that you absolutely are in love with, and then you start filling in with the greenery. And that's what we're about to do right now after I get this one in here. Wait, I keep using the wrong one. This one fell right there. Okay. So now at this point, I'm gonna go to my high-end greenery. And I'm gonna add that into my mix, but towards the end here. And that just like, look how pretty this looks from this side already with that green piece in there. And it kind of needs to be bent around like that, okay? And I'm gonna do the same thing here. I'm gonna cut this one down though, and then I'll stick it in at an angle. And I really love the greenery look with it. This is some greenery that's just, you know, Dollar Tree brand, so it's just some filler, and it's the same process. I kind of like the green thing going on with the fall color, like the orangey color tones, because it just kind of makes the whole thing work. All right, so now I'm gonna stick some more greenery down in here. Let me get this little paper off. I'm gonna do the same thing down on this side. So we kind of have it go out here. So look at that, we're starting to look a little full here. I've got this last little piece from the higher end little flower bundle, and so I'm just gonna go ahead and cut that and stick that in here at the top, just to kind of help my little small rose there, okay? And I'm just kind of pushing it down and filling it in and bending as I work. All right, and so I just kind of want to keep it symmetrical. This one's kind of a little off right there, okay? So what are we thinking? Are we liking this or not so much? Like, you guys tell me, is it looking okay? It's okay, it could be better, right? We could have some better looking flowers. But I'm just using what I have and showing you from an inexpensive standpoint how to fill your thing. Okay, and I thought I had one more of the green. Oh, I don't. But that's okay, I can use one of these green and just fill it in as I go. All right, so what are we thinking? Yes? Yay, nay, not so much? All right. Now, the other day, this is not, this is like a, oops, sorry. This is like a wreathy thing. You put like a candle vase kind of like in and around it. When I bought this, I thought it was a garland. So I was like, well, never mind. I can just take it apart and use the pieces that I want for my other arrangements. So I'm gonna stick some of these little guys in there throughout the piece. And you can see here, I'm just unwiring it and reusing it. And I'll probably use like 4 of these, and there's like 15 in this little thing. And these pieces, they can fan out and they kind of help create this whimsical little thing. And ever so often, you guys see the front here, they have, let me put another flower there. They have these little pumpkins on them. Look at that. So see how much better this is looking? So now I'm working my way like down over the edges. So we start from the center, we go down like this, then we fill with the filler flowers, and then we add some cutesy stuff to it, or some like picks or other things, and we kind of cover and work down on the box. So I'm gonna do the same thing here as I work my way with this. And then what I'm gonna do with this arrangement is actually put it on a table runner going, you know, horizontal on the table, and just kind of showcase it like that. Separate. And then I have some pumpkins, and I'll show you that. It's right over here to the side. I have some really cute like pumpkins that I can put with it to kind of give it a little bit of scatter, I guess you could say, to kind of create, you know, a little pumpkin-y, what would you call that? Like a smorgasbord thing? I don't really know. Not a cornucopia, because that's like a Thanksgiving thing, but like a, I don't know. I'm going for a horizontal floral look that's low. So I'm just going to kind of trickle that out the sides with a few little placements of some faux pumpkins, like the miniature faux pumpkins. You guys know what I'm talking about. All right, so I'm going to add another Dollar Tree flower in there just to kind of cover the ugly. Have that leaf still popping out. Okay, grab another one of these guys off of this little viney thing. Let me get this one, I think. Kind of just have to work your way with it. That one's kind of big and poking. All right. Which kind of, let me find a hole where I need to find a spot to, there's something I'm hitting in there. Oh, it's another stem, right where it needs to go. All right, so it's kind of adjust. All right, so there's that one. And we're just kind of trickling out and around. Whoops. Let me kind of make these arch a little better here. So we're even on all the sides. I'm gonna actually trim that one because that's not. All right, so see that side, and now we're a little even on this side. I definitely think this side is looking a little better. Okay, and that happens. Sometimes you just have one looking better than the other. Okay, so now I kind of have like two little pocket edges right there where you can still see the foam brick and all of that. And so this is where I'm gonna bust out this box. Now this box is a fall Hobby Lobby little box. It was $12, like 40% off, so not even $7. And it comes with all these cute little, look at this, it's like a little succulent thing. I have these awesome little berries in here, and that one, it's not perfect, it's like falling off. And I don't know if there's a way where I could cut this in half. There we go, because I could use it, like I said, on both sides. So why don't I go ahead and do that? We'll cut this into two. So you kind of see how you start with just one or two higher end flower little bundles, not even, they're not even that expensive. And I'm gonna pop these in on the sides while we're talking. And then you have some Dollar Tree filler flowers, right? And then you have some of this like miscellaneous picks to kind of help fill out your arrangement, right? It kind of just helps it look a little more lush, a little more high end, something that you would see in a store, but maybe you wouldn't like see one this nice. Like these arrangements go nice. Now, so these are the pumpkins that I was talking about. I've got green, white, and these like rustic ones. These are the ones I'm gonna kind of sprinkle out, okay, amongst the table setting here. So let me just kind of show you. I didn't even use the sunflowers, which I didn't think I was going to, but let me just push some stuff out of the way. And I'm gonna show you the arrangement from the angle of the side. I got something, some berries. Okay, so I have two of these little succulent things in there. I'm gonna pop that in on the very ends of it. Okay, you see that? You see this one down here? And it kind of just hides, whoop, all of the foam. And so now, depending on which way you look at it, the entire thing is full. Do you guys see how it looks from like up above? That's what we're looking at. And it's this archy thing. So now when I go to put this on the table, I have 4 pumpkins, okay, of 2 different types of pumpkins. So it's 8 total in this little box. I have a smushed down little light green one, which I'd put probably, let me back it up so you guys can totally see this. Which that's at the very end. So, like if I put it here, I'd put my end pumpkin like right about there. Let me back up further. And then I'd kind of like scatter place, which that's 2 greens together, so I don't really want to do that. I'll probably put my orange and then my green. And then it will go almost to the length of the table. And then I have these little spriggy sprags left. I may or may not decide to kind of just lay one down in there as like a skinny, narrow extension of this arrangement. And that would be almost like it would probably end over here, the entire length, I should say, of my table. So that's how quick and easy you can have a cute fall decor tablescape. And then if it's the table that you use every day, it's in the middle so you can still plate it or put plates there. Or you can just leave it on display and not touch it if you don't trust your family's gonna keep it nice. Like my little kids maybe. But yeah, and it's fun and it's festive and it was very inexpensive, but yet it looks really good. And I feel like I achieved the goal of that romantic look that kind of goes with the hutch. So you guys leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think. Did you like this tutorial? Would you like to see this in like a kit kind of version where you can make your own at home? If so, I'm happy to put together a fall one or maybe even one for a Christmas tablescape. So leave a comment down below. Let me know. I hope you guys have a great night and I will see you next time, hopefully tomorrow with some fabric pumpkins. Bye-bye.